Dear viewers and listeners, welcome to the second podcast series of the QuantiFarm project. In today's episode, we feature Viorel Marin from our partner ANAMOB, and together we will discuss the role of ANAMOB within the QuantiFarm project. Viorel, welcome and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation and all the good luck in the world for everybody seeing us now.
Thank you so much, and thank you for accepting the invitation actually for the day. And to begin, could you briefly explain ANAMOB's role in the QuantiFarm project? And also, if you could give us an overview of what a test case is in the QuantiFarm context.
Yes, ANAMOB, it's European Digital Innovation Hub, but not EDIH, just a Smart Agri Hubs DIH. We've been, set up in about 6 years ago when the first big platforms of digital agri-food started, under the EU funding. So we, year by year, we build up our role as an orchestrator in the benefit of the agri-food community. So aggregating and networking, all kinds of supports, all kinds of services and everything to be really targeted to, as I said, to the benefit of the agri-food community. And also with the advantage is that I am an underground IT engineer working in the agri-food space. So this was a real leverage in order, to be that channel guy between the farmers that are completely, most of them, unaware about all the benefits the digital system can bring to them, and the very smart digital guys that they don't know what is worth to do for the farmers. So in this respect, the channel guy always, like a process guy, the guy that is making the channels. In this respect, so our role here was, to first to identify these deaths, no deaths, in specific bioclimate areas, in order, to have as sustainable partners as possible, because anyway, like all the time in life, all changes might happen overnight without notice. So in order to secure, for the sake of the project, to have them for the 3 years duration, and also, to find the best experts and linking guys with these TCs, which means test cases, and which means, a pair of digital adapters, farms, and non-digital for the same sector into the same climatic area. So that's meaning digital adapted technology, and TC, a test case, meaning, this little ecosystem for evaluating what are the benefits of the digital solutions for the farmers.
Thank you very much for this very well outlined introduction. Could you also tell us and describe the test cases that ANAMOB is managing? Which are its main objectives and goals?
So we selected 3 sectors. One was wheat in steppe area. Another one represented by dairy farms, also in the steppe. And the third one, grapes for wine into the Black Sea climatic area. So here there are, similarities, but a lot of differences between such sectors. So, for example, for the wheat, it was not only a comparison between no debt, but also the debt being a corporate with 20,000 hectares, with a lot of people, a lot of experts, and the no debt being also a pretty large farm, also about an overall of 2,000, which is large for Europe, but a family farm with a no debt, so comparison was also family and corporation, not only debt and no debt. So in this way, let's say, covering some other aspects of QuantiFarm, not only the benefit of that, but also differences in digital literacy, differences in mentality, differences in, let's say, awareness about what world are we living in and where is going on to be. So as for the dairy farms, also completely different type of digital solutions, because these were mainly related of digital management solution for proper nutrition of the animals. And for the wine, let's say, here also there is another aspect which it's also with a lot of similarities with the wheat, because using satellite data, using drones, or using soil sensors or intelligent weather stations are quite similar technologies, but on a different product. So it was challenging, but in the same time benefic. So for everybody.
Thank you very much. And as you mentioned, there are a lot of difference, not only in the sectors that you're operating in and you're actually conducting these test cases, but also in other aspects like the size, the population, the differences that might happen like locally. So it's very interesting that you share this information with us.
Also, it was a pretty nice observation, because women were involved in all businesses, like Caroline just said into the kickoff meeting, more humble, very humble, especially when managing the money, all the money of the farms. So all the money of the farms are on the women's side. So
a lot of people
they've
have
been considered much better administrator, and let the males to do the other technological jobs. Yeah.
This is a positive shift, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to ask you, how have local farmers been involved in all these activities? Do you have any initial feedback that you could share?
So let's say the dot farms, it was much more easy, let's say, to collect data, especially directly from them, or when it was a digital provider, through the digital provider. For the non-dot farms, it was more difficult to collect the data, because they don't have the proper tools in order to have the data into one stop point or thing like that. But okay, it was challenging, but it was to make a lot of sports running for them, yeah?
Sure.
And to get them ready and available with all the data for you.
And have they responded in a way that was positive, probably?
No, they responded positively. The problem was to find them available.
Yes.
Because you see nowadays a lot of unexpected things happen without notice. Yes. So climate things, war things, problem of the market, prices and things like that, which let's say difficult to plan, difficult to estimate, and sometimes difficult to counter-react to the bad effects. So we had to be patient and wait for them, and
always,
and all the time.
And also extreme circumstances like weather conditions you mentioned, like floods and everything. We know that some test cases will have been postponed due to that.
Yeah. They change the agricultural cycles. They change. They imply changing in technology. They imply changing in inputs or changing in timing. So proper timing and proper activity management. It's more and more difficult, especially for those who are having no debt.
And now that we're talking about challenges, these are some that you mentioned. Do you have any other challenges? Do you have encountered any other challenges that you could probably share with us?
Yeah, some other challenges were related, let's say, especially with direct application during the demo events. Mm-hmm. Because in time we realized it's completely not sufficient just to go to them and say, the dots are better, the dots make you a better life, the dots make you more comfortable or things like that. Because there are things that were completely untouched by them till now, so they have to believe your word for it. And so your personal appearance or your personal, let's say, CV is important in order for trust to come after. So, but I realized, and the impact was much better if, for example, during the demo events, you start presenting them not just having a that or no that, but presenting them what I said before, what is next life, what is a next road for the mankind to go to, and to present to them even very bluntly things like that. In 10 years from now, if you are not connected, you no more exist. So to present to them the legislation, to present to them some much broader advantages that as digital outcomes, not only because their limited view on their farms and the limited view on their business, but let's say an image of the environment they will have to face and live in, and where the digital plays an important and not saying a mandatory role. Look at the legislation, EU legislation, and a lot of other things that they don't take account. Take the Green Deal, for example. They don't take account about your business, your sector, your thing like that, but on much global aspects that you have to comply on a mandatory terms and you have to adapt to it.
Yes, and as you mentioned, trust is a very important factor to consider. So you explain why and how?
Till now, trust. With QuantiFarm will be also proof.
Yes.
So not only believe me that I'm telling, no, look what the results are. So this is one of the major, let's say, benefic things that QuantiFarm came up with.
Great. And what steps have you taken as ANAMOB actually to promote knowledge sharing between the test cases, particularly through demo events?
So, as I told you before, we took the demo events, not just presented QuantiFarm as an isolated event.
Yes, no, you put it into context.
But QuantiFarm within the global digital context and the digital business and data economy environment and things like that. And there were a lot of questions that helped them much better understand that digital, they understand digital might be good for them, but everybody is talking about AI. They are afraid, like everybody, because AI has been a lot of subject in conspiracies and things like that. And to explain to them what real means AI, a lot of marketing, less intelligence as it is believed to, but also, let's say, creating them the trust that digital is not a threat and as a technology. Digital, like anything in nature, it's on the, let's say, similar to the creator. If somebody wants to create something bad, it will be bad. If somebody wants to create something good, it will be good. But digital as a concept is something good. Depends how the creator or how everybody wants to use it. So, and it was pretty satisfactory because they understood, and you know, such discussions are not everywhere and every time, especially on social media. And also you talked about social media and everybody said, okay, the young generation is going on social media, but you know, maybe more on social media as an entertainment, not so much social media as a real information tool. So farmers are on Facebook, are on X, but not on LinkedIn. This was so how to use social media for farmers is not so much impact on, let's say, promoting good things or right things or positive things. So you still have to keep your contact on a direct basis on your networks, especially with the farmers.
Yes, and of course, as you mentioned, through the digitalization and social media, they get a lot of misinformation. So their trust is already a little bit broken. So you need to gain the trust and
That's why I
follow
said
this process from the beginning.
You have to be an orchestra man in order to be aware about what is good and what is bad, because you have to be ready. There are very blunt questions, and if you are not prepared to answer them, the final scope, for example here, adapting that, can be compromised. So you have to be ready on a much broader area in order to really have a good impact on this real limited target.
Sounds very challenging.
Yes.
And now I'd like to ask you, how do you plan and organize these demo events? Do you follow any specific approach so that the local community is involved and that you bring an impact to all these local stakeholders?
Yeah, so following what I said, direct networking, not YouTube, not so much Facebook, not so much LinkedIn. If you want to really reach to them, you have to pay the effort and do the good old way. Direct contact, direct communication, not only with the farmers, but the same with the local responsible authorities, like, for example, the agricultural local offices or the food safety and veterinary authorities locally. So direct and things like that, not so much. So you need to pay some efforts here, not to stay relaxed. Okay, I have Facebook, I have social media, everything will go smooth. No, it doesn't work with the farmers.
You need to be there, like
you
physically.
Need to be physically, and the direct contact is completely safe for the moment.
Thank you very much. And now one more question. What methods do you use to collect feedback from farmers and participants during the visits? And how is this feedback used?
So in this moment, we already did 2 such demo events. We have a third, the last one and third at the end of this month. And okay, there all the documents prepared by the communication and disseminated team were quite professionally made in terms of, let's say, evaluation grids and things like that. So we took care that everybody understands and waits for the whole info to be delivered and then to fully fill those evaluation reports. And now for the already 2 events that happened, our experts are now evaluating those forms, and at the same time analyzing, let's say, the questions and answers raised directly outside the evaluation form, and let's say having some insight, let's say, on those broader areas that I was talking about. So that's why, because QuantiFarm is not limited, it's part of a big ecosystem build up. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. And how are you evaluating whether the tested digital solutions are bringing any real value?
This was done by the QuantiFarm evaluation tools. So because these tools are providing, let's say, after the first 2 years of collecting data and submitting them for evaluation, they are really providing, let's say, what makes the difference, and not the difference on philosophical aspect, but difference in money in their pockets, which is the only thing that matters.
Of course.
Them. Yeah, sure.
This is a job. Of course, it matters to actually benefit financially.
Not so much about the benefits for climate or the benefits for, no, but the benefits in the pocket.
Yes, sure.
They are very pragmatic from this point of view.
Yes, realistic, of course, because farmers are very eager to actually save money and be more efficient during working.
So direct people link with nature, so they are more natural than most of us.
Of course.
Yeah.
And do you have any key practices or good lessons learned from all these events that you have realized that would benefit probably other test case leaders or farmers? Something that you could share with us, maybe the physical contact, the direct communication is one of them.
What I said is that direct communication is a major key aspect, and is the same time to be, let's say, more open to what is happening in Europe, in the world, into where the QuantiFarm context lies for the moment and for the future. And also, let's say, to identify the major differences between for each sector to have that or not having one.
And now I'd like to ask you one final question before we finish our discussion for today. Could you probably share your next steps? Are you planning anything new? And regarding all these activities, are you having any way to measure their success?
Yeah, because QuantiFarm is providing a lot of bricks for that further constructions that we are talking about. We are involved in this new construction with different other projects or platforms and things like that. So some of the bricks that QuantiFarm is providing are very useful for the future construction. So the tool set, all the tools, the evaluation, the impact, the digital academy, and everything deriving from it are very good things to be connected. Data exchange will be directly connected with the future of the agri-food data space that is now under deployment. So it's very important to, let's say, to use all those bricks and to integrate them like in, let's say, a future better puzzle for the agri-food community. Yeah.
Great, thank you very, very much. And thank you very much for sharing all your insights with us today and participating to our podcast.
Okay, I'm glad if I could be useful. Yeah.
You were very much. Your insights were very valuable for the audience to understand actually what we are doing and how we are doing it, all the steps that are crucial for the process of this project.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And as for you, dear viewers and listeners, thank you also very much for watching this episode. And don't forget to stay tuned for all the next episodes.